Ladies and gentlemen, boys and baby girls, get the bucket of water ready so the barn doesn't burn down from the fireworks. It's another episode of the Cowboy Rowdy podcast.
Wait, Governor,
Know that I'm coming correct.
let me talk to you guys about something that they can do both drunk and high that is extremely pleasant.
I think our podcast needs a budget for guns.
Cowboy Rowdy. Well, shoot, dang. Crack a cold one, baby. What is it with this fucking podcast?
I'm your host, Sebastian McCabe, filling in for Cameron Barry. With me, resident comedian Anthony Barrera.
What's up, It's your boy, Young Baphomet.
There he is. And, of course, Monterey Bay comic, show producer Michael Booth.
Hey, how's it going?
And a very special guest we're very excited about, filmmaker, amateur bass jumper, aspiring astronaut, Jaime Virgen.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, so we're coming to you live here from the 5th of July. After I actually had some shrapnel from a firework land on my fucking roof last night. So
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
You experienced,
how was the 4th for you guys?
It was pretty rowdy over here. There's a lot of fireworks going off. I ended up driving down the street and sitting in a parking lot watching people light off little fireworks for a little bit while I smoked some weed in my car and then went home. That was about my 4th of July activity.
Hell yeah,
Anthony,
30 seconds in,
during...
already incriminated yourself. I love it.
I know, right?
Yeah. I was at work for 4th of July, but that doesn't matter because me and Sebastian literally saw a house burn down a few years ago from 4th of July festivities.
We did.
Jeez.
I forgot about that.
Wow.
Yeah, we just looked out the window and
it was
sure enough,
super
it was all
intense.
orange and smoke.
I was drunk as fuck, so I thought it was super funny, but it was a tragedy. I hope they got out alive.
You thought it was funny?
Yeah, dude, a house was burning down. Like, I thought that was mad funny.
It's just, I'm sure an ordinary to see.
You want to talk about incriminating yourself?
I didn't do it. It was the fireworks that did it.
I was peacefully watching fireworks by myself, just getting high, and you're laughing at houses burning down.
I was peacefully watching a house burn down high. Like,
I wouldn't laugh at it. I would probably cry because I'd feel so bad for those people, man.
you wouldn't cry.
Damn.
Stop lying. You don't even like kids.
What does that have to do with it? Lamest comparison ever. About as lame as your hat.
Oh, we're coming for the hat. We're coming for the hat. I don't even know what shirt you're wearing.
That's okay. You don't need to.
It's a soccer shirt, I think.
No, it's esports. It's all good.
Esports, bro. The final frontier of the future.
Listen,
in the
go
future,
work out your
the
thumbs.
Future of gaming.
Will be E. So yeah, we've got a very special guest here. So Jaime is the host of the first and the 15th podcast with Anthony as well, which full disclosure, I was on the last episode of.
I guess crossover episode.
Yeah, this is the full. It comes full circle now.
Yep.
So Jaime and I think we had a little bit of overlap in high school, and. Yeah, you were always the dude who I knew who was, like, actually really into filmmaking, like, serious about it, and you're still out there doing it. Like, how...
Yeah.
How do you just, like, stay at one thing for that long? Because I have a fucking hard time
That's
with
interesting. That. I don't know. I think because film's always growing and adapting, and there's always new films and old films. And I don't know, there's something about making movies and capturing like the human experience, which I find really interesting, because it's ultimately because we're trying to understand ourselves and grow as human beings. So I don't know. I think as a kid, I always liked films. I just didn't realize it till I became a teenager, and now as an adult, I'm just constantly learning about film just because I didn't go to film school as well. You know, I'm learning new techniques, how to use my camera or editing and this and that. And I know it just keeps me going. I have no idea. I just love it.
So
I just love it, man.
You said not going to film school, so you're like totally self-taught pretty much with like
self-taught. I went to the Stanley Kubrick Film School. which is
didn't
just
you also go
learning
to
from
CSUMB
doing.
for a while for this?
I did one for 1 year, but they did not teach me anything there. I'm not saying that they're bad at school or anything, but they did not help me out. That was one of the reasons I left, and so I'd rather do self-taught, like Quentin Tarantino. Just trial and error, just do it and learn from your mistakes, and you just get better. That's just what happens.
It's just like selling crack. You don't go to school for it. You just do it.
Right.
You
just do it. And you just get better at it Yeah, exactly. You think I'm making $100 on my first sale of crack? No, I don't think so. It takes time. You got to find the right corners. Got to find the right clientele. Yeah. So.
Do you have any idea how difficult it is to sell a normal person crack?
Oh yeah, what's a normal person anyway?
I mean, I don't think that's your market. I don't think that's the demographic you're targeting when you're selling crack, Anthony.
First, you have to
the normal person is not your average demographic.
Yeah, first thing you have to do is convince them to try crack for the first time.
Yeah, I don't know about that. You just go after the people that'll basically do anything for it.
That's where the salesman
That's the
comes
person
from.
that you need to sell it to. The person that's hooked.
I'm not gonna prey on those that are already addicted to it, Michael.
You gotta find new customers.
I don't know.
Find new customers. They have more money. They have more stuff they can sell. Why am I gonna?
Let's get back to.
Right.
Anyway, Jaime.
Yes.
You were talking about loving film growing up and doing it on your own and learning on your own.
Definitely.
Is there a specific genre of film that reached out that gripped you early on, or was it just just really interested in movies in general? Was there something that?
I think the one that hits me the most right now are dramas, real life stuff where people are arguing or fighting, or when you have to step out of that comfortable way of living. Mm-hmm. That's where I find the most interesting things that are happening. We've seen a lot of movies where everyone's everyone's pretty comfortable in the beginning of the film, and then somewhere in the middle something happens. We're moving away. We're having a baby. This and that. But yeah, I think action films are fun. Thrillers are fun. Actually growing up, my favorite movies were Jurassic Park and The Mummy, because I really
nice. The Mummy's so good, dude.
Yeah, I would pretend to be O'Connell and whip out my revolvers and pretend I'm shooting mummies. The way that was cool, And even Jurassic Park was cool with when the T-Rex comes out. Can't remember the main character's name, but he's waving his hat or the flare, and he's like, "Hey, hey." Mm-hmm. That shit. I don't know. I liked those.
Yeah, those are iconic. Yeah, those are iconic scenes.
Yeah, those are iconic. There was just something about some films growing up that are you just said iconic. There's just an image and a feeling that you're whoa, that's really cool. I want to capture that feeling again. I think that feeling you walk out of a movie and you feel like you're like that guy in the film. Yeah. You ever get that?
I got that from John Wick.
I get that from I get that a lot from stand-up, that kind of iconic image you're talking about. Certain jokes growing up as a kid, I watched a lot of comedy, and certain jokes would just stick out to me, and I would watch it over and over again, or I would learn it, I memorize it so I could tell people about it and share it with people, because it was it resonated so deep within me. I think that's kind of what you're describing with these images.
Yeah,
is something
I don't know what it is.
Resonating with inside of you, and you want to create that for others because this feeling is so intense.
Right. It's what's that saying? Capturing lightning in a bottle kind of feeling.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I don't know what it is, but there's something with film and certain images and sound. When you put them all together, there's this magic moment that you're seeing, and it's whoa, that's affecting me. And
I think that's when the illusion is in full
at its peak
capture mode, where you forget you're watching a movie. You forget you feel like you're actually there, and you're there right next to that lightning in the bottle.
Mm-hmm. But I think ultimately, now that I think of it, is when you're watching films like that, I think what I feel is when I step out into the real world is is it possible to capture that magic in real life, without a camera, without filmmaking, is it possible to come across like this kind of moment play out in real life?
Yeah,
Yeah,
go on a stage and
that's
start
what we're
telling
looking for.
jokes. You'll get
Oh,
that
yeah?
feeling. Yeah.
Oh, well, let's see.
Do you
I
get
find
a-
I. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Sebastian.
do you get a lot of moments where like you see just a specific scene or a specific shot or something, and you just think to yourself like, fuck me, I wish I had been the one to make this. Like, do you get that a lot? Like, as someone who does a lot of,
sometimes.
like audio and music and stuff, I always will just hear songs or parts of songs and just think like, fuck, I wish it had been me that came up with that. And that kind of,
it's
like,
happened-
to me, that's a big inspiration, kind of, is just like to try to reproduce that feeling.
Yeah, it's happened a few times, especially with like specific songs that are used in films. I'm like, oh man,
Dude, that's
that
what I was
would have
gonna
been
say.
an awesome song to use. And then like once you use it again, some people might think like, oh yeah, I remember that song. I heard it in that other movie, and it's like, fuck. Okay, so like music is very powerful in films because it can associate and connect images, and if you hear a certain song, you're like, oh, that movie,
Yeah,
Because
like
of-
Celine Dion's, Titanic.
Oh yeah. Like if you heard that in a
yeah.
different movie, you would be like, oh, Titanic.
Dude, Top Gun is a good example of that. There's like 3 songs
Yes.
in that movie, and they're used for the whole movie. They're such callback to this. Like they build an
Oh, yeah.
emotion on this song by the end. Once you hear that song by the end of the movie, you're like, holy shit!
It's almost like a theme. Like a theme.
Like that Otis Redding song in Top Gun. At the end, they're playing that at the end, and it like
Mm-hmm.
loops you back to the whole like movie and everything. And when Val Kilmer's looking at Tom Cruise and he's like, "You can be my wingman anytime," and he's like, "No, you
Yeah.
can be mine."
Yeah.
It's like holy, like that is just a dude. I'm so stoked they're coming out with the
Iconic.
second one, bro. I've been
I
like,
know.
hanging
me
on all
too.
the trailers and everything. Yeah, I'm so stoked on that.
That's
Yeah,
badass.
they're actually flying the planes this time, which is
Oh, yeah.
fucking insane.
My uncle was on one of the carriers that went during the filming of the first one.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, pretty cool. Said Tom Cruise is a dick. I don't know, probably is.
I'm sure. Yeah.
We've heard that one before, but I mean, fuck me if he's not one of the greatest actors to ever do it.
Yeah,
True,
I
and
mean,
probably one of the most iconic from the
Yeah,
last
all-
50 years or so.
I'll
Still
go
looks
back
young.
for Tom Cruise. any
Still
day.
looks mid-30s.
Hey
Superstar,
man,
bro.
that's that Scientology for you. It really there's no other explanation. Honestly,
Don't go after
for how it
Scientology
works.
now. They'll come after us.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
nothing but respect. Yeah, please don't sue us. So one of the speaking of films, one of the segments we've got here today is a 30-second pitch for your desert island.
coming
movies.
back at you, dude.
So like
30
if you
seconds.
could, if you could only rewatch, let's just say one movie for, you're stuck on a desert island, you got a little portable DVD player or some bullshit. What are you watching? What's a movie that you can
Just one?
rewatch over and over? We'll say
Just one film?
We'll say
or three or
We'll-
five?
We'll open it up.
Okay.
We'll give you 3.
3 films.
Can I go first here?
I think. Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Hit it.
I want to hear it.
Desert Island. So I'm on a desert island and I have to watch a movie, and
Yeah.
it's the only movie that I can watch. Castaway.
3.
Fuck you! I was gonna say that.
Castaway,
So
dude.
unoriginal.
No,
Right?
and here's why, bro. It's a fucking step by step on how to get off
a
of
manual.
that shit.
It's
how
a
to.
manual.
It's a how-to, dude. Like I'm gonna be walking around the island in circles looking for a volleyball. You already know.
Oh my
Like,
god.
That's,
I can already,
that's how I'm gonna stay
can already
sane,
see
dude. I'm gonna watch this movie and then I'm gonna find my own Wilson.
Oh my god.
No, but seriously, I mean, I would just be so inspired every day to watch that movie and be like, it's possible to get off this island.
Tom Hanks gives me
Psych
hope.
yourself up.
Yeah.
I'm with
Yeah.
you, Tom. I'm here with you.
And if my teeth get fucked up, all I need is an ice skate apparently. So
How long
we're
do you
good.
think you'll be there?
I don't know. How long was he there? Like 5 years? I mean, that's
That movie
just,
is like
that's what I'm
3
saying.
hours.
This movie is
so
so
you're gonna be there a
informational.
while.
Yeah, this movie is
He was
so
there for like 4
informational.
years.
I'm gonna get jacked and have a sick beard. Like you see him when it like pans after he knocks his tooth out. It pans like 4 years later, and then he's just fucking shredded,
yeah.
and he's like spearfishing like a savage, dude. I'm ready
Yep,
for that.
Yep. Okay.
I I would watch
They
The
should go around.
Godfather. I'd watch The Godfather
That's a
to
good
remind
one.
myself
Two.
that
Part one?
Part one. Yeah, part
Oh,
one.
okay, I see you.
I'd watch it to remind myself that, hey, you know what I'm saying, I'm really that motherfucker, and it would inspire me to work even that much harder to get off the island. And that's why I would select that movie.
Okay.
Okay.
Would you talk like Marlon Brando by the end of it? Would you? Just,
Yeah, no, I would.
your
I would
gums
take
stick
little
out?
balls of like leaves or grass and then stick them in my like.
You're just like my son.
I'd capture
My
a
son
baby
is dead.
puma and then like play with it in my makeshift desk, talking to no one. I'd actually go fucking insane. Is what would happen.
Yeah, he'd go
You
mad.
actually end up just
You're-
sitting in a chair on the island, like, and you die.
Oh god. You die and then your son takes over. Then you got to play the Al Pacino part now.
See, and then it becomes Apocalypse Now because you're Marlon Brando with this big island all to yourself.
god.
He just
Damn.
he finds some dude. Anthony finds a guy with a violin that's just like.
But there's no violin player. It's just all in his head.
That's his Wilson. His Wilson is just the violin, like orchestra playing like the sad music from Godfather.
That sounds like a great time.
Constantly. Every time
That
this
sounds
sun
like such a
goes down,
sad
that's all you
death
can
on an
hear.
island is just
Oh,
young
God.
Baphomet. And you're wearing that hat the whole time, by the way. Let it be known, Anthony
Yes.
wears the hat.
Listen,
on
I'm
the
not
island.
gonna
No
get
shirt,
any
just a
sun
hat.
damage on my neck and/or head. Cool, I'll take it.
Okay.
Well, excuse me, what neck are you talking about here? Like,
Oh, come on.
See this right here? You see?
he has to suck everything in to make it visible. He's like, look at it, dude.
Really pushing my shoulders down, you know? Like,
Yeah, he's like, look, I have one.
Okay, Jaime, what have you got? You got
So we're picking a few, right? Because I don't want to pick. Okay, I don't know. I have a few here, but okay. I think I'm gonna have to go with Inglorious Bastards
Nice.
because I don't know.
Buongiorno.
It's my favorite Tarantino movie. I think the reason I'm picking it is because there's so many different languages being spoke. There's some really tense, good scenes. I don't know. I think it's just a phenomenal film. You can see Nazis getting killed. You see Hitler getting killed. Like, I can believe it was like actual history. If I was on this island and I was just watching it over and over again, like, I'd believe it. Like, oh man, at least they don't have Hitler.
You just be scared of the bear Jew.
you'd be like that one
Oh,
Japanese soldier who stayed on the island for 50 years and didn't know World War II was over.
You just start
Dude.
talking like Brad Pitt in that movie all the time.
Inglorious Bastards is a good one because there is a lot of like a lot of.
There's a
detail
lot of
in
different
that
stuff.
movie.
A lot of
Yeah.
different
You
stuff.
notice something new. I mean, hey, maybe after a couple years, there wouldn't be anything new to notice anymore. But I feel like you could get a lot of mileage out of that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I
it's a
think,
good one.
you know, by the time hopefully someone saves me, I already know how to speak French. I already know how to speak Italian. I already know how to speak German just because of this film.
Your Italian will be really bad because the character is
It
Italian.
will be really bad.
Arrivederci.
Right. Arrivederci. Gorlami. My name's Gorlami.
He just shows up. He's like, Arrivederci.
You know, that wasn't originally how he was supposed to say it, but when Tarantino saw it, he loved it so much he put it in the movie.
I mean, yeah, of
Brad
course
Pitt's
that
awesome in
wasn't
that
how he
movie,
was
dude.
Supposed to say it.
That's like one of Brad Pitt's like favorite characters of mine. Like that he
Yeah.
plays.
Yeah, Lieutenant
So
Aldo Rain. That was fire.
So awesome.
Yeah.
Okay,
What
mine-
about you,
Seb?
Sebastian?
Yeah.
I gotta go with. I think I go with Heat. Michael Mann's Heat.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Alright.
Damn.
The 1990.
That's good.
Heist epic.
Heat.
Great shootouts.
Yeah.
Great action scenes.
Uh-huh.
Great, great.
That was a
banter
great era.
between De Niro and Al Pacino.
Yeah, for sure.
It really
That
was
era
There was a vibe.
like
movie-making era.
that era of thrillers. Oh man, like
Yeah,
so solid.
It's so good because it opens up with like an armored car heist, like you've seen in other shit in
With, like, the
video
hockey
games and
masks.
stuff a million times, but they do it just so well, and it's it's like how the movie opens with this super tense robbery scene, and it just like kind of keeps going from there. I was also really tempted to say Uncut Gems because there was a lot of detail in that movie.
I haven't seen
but
that yet. I need to
Oh,
watch
it's on
movie is,
Netflix.
like,
Check it out.
That movie is
I'll have to
like
watch it
so
today.
stressful and so anxiety-inducing to watch because everyone's
It's
just
supposed to
yelling at
be.
each other the whole
Dude.
time. I don't think I'd want to watch that over.
Yeah, I gotta.
That's the
I
purpose.
can't be high for the movies like that because I just get way too paranoid. I get.
Yeah, you
like,
definitely
I
wanna
start
be
to
sober
squirm.
watching
I'm
that
just
one.
like, oh, like I'm like, oh, like I get so
Yeah.
into it, dude.
Yeah,
Oh man.
that movie's really tense, so I think I'd have to give it to Heat. And again, I could just watch that fucking shootout scene a million times.
I was gonna say like if I didn't say Castaway, I was gonna say Iron Will. 'Cause Iron Will is like one of
Never
my
saw that
all-time
one.
faves.
Haven't seen it.
Oh, it's a good one, dude. It's like pretty old, but it's a pretty good movie, and it's kind of the same like along the same lines.
Is it as bad as The Patriot? You heard me, motherfucker. I saw
don't like
it.
The
That
Patriot.
shit was trash.
I'm just gonna move on. Iron Will is pretty good. It's like a movie about like determination and grit and will to survive kind of stuff, kind of similar to like Revenant and
Okay.
like Pursuit of
Oh,
Happiness.
that'd
I
be
just like
interesting,
movies like
too.
that where it's like a story of inspiration and
Right.
determination.
Trying to push through.
Something like that would be cool for a desert island.
Hmm.
Keep me grounded, I guess. Let's go into this next segment here. I got some questions for you guys. It's not really like there's no name for it really. I just have some questions that I found that I think would be pretty interesting to discuss amongst ourselves. The first one, I'm just going to open it up to everybody here. If you had to replace your hands with something and other than claws or someone else's hands, so it can't be claws, can't be other hands, what would you choose and why?
I would
I
pick
would-
wings. Wings.
You take wings on your hands.
Yeah, so I could
So
fly.
you have no hands, you just have wings now.
I
That's
have
it.
wings. I could
So
fly.
you just become a bird with no beak.
I don't need a beak, dude. I'm a
Young,
human.
young no beak.
I can speak English.
What is that?
What I think.
What does that have to do with? How does that?
You know what I would do? Once I have those wings, I would fly to fucking Marina. I'd knock on your door with my head, and then I'd slap the shit out of you with my hand wings.
With your feather wing? Oh, it's gonna hurt so bad. Like,
Yeah,
Maybe it
dude.
would.
What happens when you can't defend yourself? What are you gonna do?
What are you
Use
talking
your
about? I
wings to
spread them
block
out,
your-
dude. Yeah, like
You're
you
gonna
can't
go like
touch my
this?
face.
Oh.
You can't even see me. I'm like John Cena in this bitch.
Hey, you know what kind of wings I think you would have? Do you guys remember the movie Bug's Life? Remember when the caterpillar
Oh
comes
my
out of the
God, the
cocoon,
little-
but he's still a caterpillar? He has those little tiny fucking
Little
wings.
wings.
Those are your wings, young
That's what it
Baphomet.
is.
Those
No,
little
there's
tiny
no way.
fucking wings that little
I have
caterpillar
giant,
has.
majestic angel wings coming out of my wrists.
Look at him flicking that wrist. Okay, what about you, Jaime? You got no hands. You can't have claws or hands.
You know, okay, I think I'd pick like marshmallow pokers. You know, the sticks you put like marshmallows on the end for like campfires. I have no idea why, but I thought that'd be.
So you kind of be
intriguing,
like the
you know?
Deadpool from the X-Men Origins at the end.
Ah, interesting.
You
Yeah,
kind of have
yeah,
like
yeah.
a staff.
You just
coming
have like
out.
But-
sticks poking out of your wrist.
Yeah, it's like a two-prong kind of thing. I was thinking like I want to pick up something. I was thinking chopsticks at first, but
Kind of sounds like a
I
claw,
wanna,
though.
like,
Yeah.
right,
it's,
like a
two
claw,
separate
kind of like
hands.
poking. Yeah, I
Oh,
don't
so
know,
he would
like,
just
I
have
think
two
it'd be cool.
sticks. He'd be like,
Yeah, just two kind of like stick things, and I'm just kind of like poking at stuff, picking up things.
How would you
I would
jerk
struggle
off?
to pick up some stuff though.
you would crush it at
That's out
community
of the
service, dude.
question. For,
That's I just don't. I
you
can't.
have to accept that no
You would
matter what
destroy
sacrifice I'm willing
community
to make.
service.
That's
flashlight on each
just I have to
hand.
accept it.
A flashlight?
Oh God.
He would just be out there picking up trash, like just crushing it.
on the
Yeah,
side
I'm
of
like
the
I'm a
freeway.
good
Yeah, he'd have
Samaritan
the
in this
bag
scenario.
like tied to his chest so he could use both hands. He'd be the ultimate community service person. I'd just be
Yeah.
out there.
Give
for
you a
sure.
go-kart that you can drive with your legs, you know?
Hey, you
Yeah, I'm like a really, really good
And you
person
could
in
roast
this
two hot
scenario.
dogs at the same time. Wow,
I'm just
you'd
going
be
around
really
helping people.
efficient with certain things, but other things just not so
You would
much.
just
Other
not
things
be
I
able to do
cannot.
at all.
No.
Okay, Sebastian,
said.
what about you?
I would want to have like like those gardening like spades that are triangle shaped, kind of pointed at one end. I'd like something like that, like a little.
Or you could just
Kind of like a garden hoe.
Because then that way I could poke things and kind of pick them up, and
A spork would be better.
I think I would be able to get. Oh, see, I don't know though, because I wouldn't be able to type with that.
No, I mean you could. You just have to be really careful.
Yeah, I'd have to get a custom keyboard made for me.
You just got to change everything that you do. If you change, I mean, if you have different arms, you're gonna have to adapt.
Oh
You
yeah,
gotta
your
sacrifice
lifestyle.
certain things. Yeah, so that's just what's gonna happen. I mean, what's the most ideal thing to have that's not arms, really?
So like, I'm gonna. Okay, I think you guys.
Yeah.
You guys didn't think like. I mean,
Practically or what?
you guys have the same thing on both hands. I don't think you really thought about like efficiency here.
One or
see,
the other?
if you can have a different thing on each hand, that changes the equation a bit.
I said, I mean, I didn't really give you that,
I
but
think you should
that's
play
open
by
to
the rules we
interpretation, I
set,
think.
because it's way too late to go back and start changing things on you.
I didn't change no rules. You guys just didn't think of that, dude. Come
You
on
didn't
now.
mention
About
it. What the
ropes.
fuck?
I mean, you have two hands, bro. You just thought like, oh, I'm gonna have the same thing on both hands. That's gonna be efficient.
I want the listeners to realize just like how Michael
Well,
sounded pitching
you
this
know.
idea.
The duality.
You guys. Anyways, I would probably go with, okay, if I'm gonna keep the same thing on both hands, you know what I'm gonna have? I'm just gonna have chains hanging off. Just like a big metal chain hanging off.
You're gonna be
both
like
sides.
fucking Ghost
Yep.
Rider or some shit.
Yep.
Oh man.
You know why, dude? Because you can wrap those chains around a lot of stuff, and you can like use your arm, use your
Like
body to
pull
turn
'em.
things, and just.
You'll be like the
You
greatest.
still have your
kidnapper.
arms. You still have your arms. You just have like long chains hanging off your hands. So you could like.
That's metal. As
You could
fuck.
rip. Yeah, it'd be sick, dude. You could
Imagine
just
being in
grab
like the
shit.
mosh pit and with the chain hands.
Imagine being a fucking like vocalist in a metal band and you have chains for hands and you wrap it around the mic stand. You're just like chained to your arms and you're just like screaming into the mic.
You would
That
need
sounds
someone to
so
help
amazing.
unwrap you at the end of it. Like, ah, shit.
Yeah, the mic is just constantly attached to you because you're just chained to it. Yeah, that'd be so sick, dude. You could like.
You're
could
like
just-
the perfect lightning rod.
Yeah, when you drive, you just wrap the chains around. You know, like you could whip it on your steering wheel. You just like throw your wrists at your steering wheel, and the chains wrap around. And then you're
Imagine
like,
getting
okay.
pulled over like that. Just like, hello, officer.
He's like, hands in the air, sir. Like I'm chained to my steering wheel.
Listen, I'm
Officer.
trying my best, and then you're promptly shot. For brandishing.
Also,
weapons.
yeah,
Those are chains.
yeah, you could also beat the shit out of anyone ever. Like,
I mean, not if they
anyone
have
that
a
comes
gun.
at you, you're just like a chain. You're like what's his name from? You're like Whiplash, but you have chains.
Oh yes, Whiplash. I can see that.
You're like Bruce Lee without the nunchucks. You just have the chain part.
And
And
none
you
of
could
the
chain
martial
stuff.
arts
Sounds
experience.
You could attach stuff to your chains, dude. Come on, like you guys.
You put little
guys
This is
magnets
our
on there.
origin story for
You
a
guys
villain.
slipped up here, dude. Chains is the best thing you could have for hands if you can't have claws.
You can't caress anybody
Debatable.
with chains.
Debatable.
Yeah,
That's
but if
also
you
out of
could
the
find
question.
yourself somebody that's into like BDSM.
You're gonna end up in one of those dungeons, dude. Like, I swear to God.
You could chain yourself to the bed, dude. You could be the ultimate sub.
Do you guys think you'd be a sub or a dominant in that kind of
Well, in this scenario, he's a
Underworld.
sub.
I consider myself a switch, sir. So
He's like, I go both ways.
And with that,
I mean, I'm just being honest here. This is what podcasting is about. I'm gonna go into the next question here to kind of round it out. Last one here. If you could become an inanimate object for a year, which inanimate object would you become and why?
For a year.
a
Fuck.
a computer with a webcam and a microphone.
Oh my God.
Jeez. You're basically an AI.
Yeah, keep some awareness.
Except you
Wow.
can't move.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking upload. It'll be like Ghost in the Shell. I'm gonna upload my mind.
I kind of want to go.
I want to be the
kinda wanna go the
nuclear
same
launch
direction.
codes. And whenever it is I do see daylight, that means the end of the world is coming.
How often do they change
Like
those?
this is it.
Every 6 hours.
I was gonna say your lifespan.
No, I
really
just
short, bro.
I just continue being like when it changes, I shift to the next piece of paper or whatever the fuck they use.
Anthony, I don't think you understand how that works. I hate
Listen,
to say
they
it.
chain the thing to your hand. They use Michael's chain idea with the suitcase and the hand.
Anthony just wants to be that metal briefcase.
Yeah, the briefcase. I'll be the briefcase. That's my
Be a
inanimate object.
briefcase. Interesting.
My runner-up was like a toilet, just because getting
You want to be a toilet, bro?
Why would you want to do that to yourself?
Why do you
It's
want
the
to be
most underappreciated thing in your house.
This sounds like some
So,
fetish
nothing
coming
will
to the
change.
surface. What about you, Jaime? Inanimate object.
I'm trying to think about. I want to go with Seb. I kind of want to go in Seb's direction. I was gonna pick a GoPro, but instead I'm gonna go with like a bobblehead, because I think I'd have a little bit of fun. I don't know where I'm at or what kind of bobblehead I am, but I don't know. Like the first thought, does Disneyland have bobbleheads? Because if they did, that's where I would go, and I'd be like on a shelf somewhere, and
So
people
you
come
were
by
made
and
with,
they bop my head.
You were made with child labor, then.
Yeah, you think so? Probably. Yeah, I can see that.
Made by the
But I would be
youngest
on a shelf
hands
just chilling for a whole
that
year.
Disney could afford.
Yeah, but at that time I'm not alive yet. I haven't came to. They haven't used their magical powers yet on me. So when I'm like awakened, I'm just sitting on a shelf, looking out at like a bunch of people just cross by over. I'm like sitting in Tomorrowland or some shit, and just bobbing away. And hopefully one day someone takes me home. And then I like after the year, I like transform into my human body, and then they freak out. They're like, "There's a grown man in my room. What's going on here?" That's what would happen.
It would be a really weird couple minutes there when you wake back up.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It sounds
I think
like
that's what I do.
sounds like a movie directed by Rob Schneider.
Yeah, like he's like trapped as the bobblehead, like trying to. Oh my god, I don't know why.
What was that movie where
You get out of there and your neck is just jacked. It's just like you just have huge
just
traps.
from all the exercise?
Yeah, you're like, dude.
Yeah, I'm just like.
What was that movie where Kevin Spacey's soul got like transplanted into the family cat? Do you all remember this?
I don't remember that one, but I do remember he was like a, yeah he.
Bro,
he's
Kevin
a cat. I don't
Spacey's a
remember the
cat?
movie. Yeah,
he
he gets like transformed into a
he's,
cat.
like, shitty to, his
to teach him a
family
lesson. It's
or
basi-
something.
It's
It's a very
basically
stupid
Click.
movie.
It's basically Click, but
Yeah.
with like a cat. Like he has to learn about loving his family and whatever.
Interesting.
So he becomes the pet cat, so he can appreciate them more or whatever. Cause
I mean, I think that's kind of the direction we're taking with this inanimate object thing. Like,
Yeah,
I was gonna
exactly.
say, like, if I could be something, I think I'd want to be like a landmark, like the Eiffel Tower, or
interesting.
like the Statue of Liberty, or something like that.
You'd
I was
have
gonna
to-
say, what
you'd
if-
have to
it'd be
pick really carefully so you don't get torn down.
That'd be funny. Yeah, exactly.
Facts.
No, I don't want to be like a
Exactly.
statue, like something big, like the pyramid, or like something crazy, like a wonder. Like
I get you. Like
because
the Eiffel
people
Tower.
are always coming to see you from everywhere, and like the conversation
What
and
about
just
the
like
Grand
people always
Canyon?
in awe of your. It would just be interesting to watch like how different people experience like
I
just
feel
this,
like I wouldn't want to be the Eiffel Tower because the French are assholes, and that would mean being around a
about
bunch
the-
of
I was just trying to use an
assholes.
example. Yeah, I don't know which one I would really want to be.
What about Lady
like.
Liberty?
You'd be
But like a
that
man.
bridge in Big Sur that everyone wants
Also,
to take pictures
if
of.
you are that landmark, I think it'd be cool to be alive, like, or to recognize everything that happens within it from like the time it was built until now. That'd be like the Colosseum in Rome, like you're
Ooh.
like. just
Imagine
the
how
whole
many
time.
motherfuckers died in that motherfucker.
Oh, not a lot.
Yeah, just
A lot of
It's all your
death.
fault.
A whole lot of death going on there.
crazy stuff.
You have
Was
any
it,
other questions or what?
I was gonna say, is it time for takeaways now, or?
I think so.
Come on,
I did
host.
just want I did want to circle back a little bit any Jaime, any movies that you know, people a lot of people still got a lot of free time these days. Any movies that maybe you think
Any
have
recs?
gone under the radar recently that you think might be worth checking out?
Ooh.
Maybe just a couple.
Under the radar. Okay. Forgotten films, unappreciated films. Okay, you know, one movie I've been thinking about recently that I want to watch again that I think was kind of like shoved aside is the movie Mother with Jennifer Lawrence.
Yo.
I don't know if you guys saw that.
I did.
I haven't seen it.
It was, oh, okay. So like, it's intense. I'll tell you that much. But it's very interesting because it's almost telling like this story about either a lot of different interpretations, but either Earth and people or Jesus and God. Like, there's a lot of different things going on in that film. But Mother, directed by Darren Aronofsky with Jennifer Lawrence and Javier Bardem. Go check it out. I think that one's underappreciated. I did one more that I really like that is like one of my go-tos. It's a feel-good film. It's called Chef with Jon Favreau.
Hey.
And
That's a good one, bro.
And Sofia Vergara and all Dustin Hoffman, a bunch of Robert Downey Jr.'s in it a little
All
bit.
his
Scarlett
homies.
Johansson. Yeah, basically.
It's a good one.
But that it's like a feel good film. Like, really, like, if you want to chill and vibe and like have very little conflict while watching a movie, go watch Chef with Jon Favreau. It's really good if you like food too. There's a lot of cool food, some really good music. It's not like a big studio film. It's more independent, so it'll be a little bit different than what you're used to. Go check that out.
Nice.
Sounds nice and wholesome.
Cool.
It is. It's very wholesome. It's like I said, it's a feel good film. You know, very little conflict, which
That's
is
good.
nice.
In contrast to Mother, which, like I said, I haven't
Right.
seen, but I
Oh
remember
my
when
God.
it came out, the only thing I would hear was like how fucked up some of the scenes were.
It
So
is.
You can
It
cleanse your
is, but-
palate with some nice food after that.
Yeah, but seriously, the thing about Mother is just it's crazy. Like, it goes everywhere. It's unexpected, and it's like very uncomfortable. But that's what I love about film sometimes too, that it can put you in this state that you're like, oh my God, like, you know, like you were saying about Uncut Gems. The movie's doing a good job if it's making you feel that way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
definitely.
saying?
It can
So,
actually evoke
yeah, go check
strong
out Mother.
feelings.
Yeah, exactly, because it's, you know, I don't know, it's pretty fucked up. But go watch that movie. It's really good. I have to go watch it again.
It's pretty fucked up. It's pretty good.
No, it is though.
I just
Yeah.
watched a movie like that recently, so yeah, I know what you mean of like, oh, this is
Yeah.
really hard
But-
to watch, but it's real good too.
Yeah, it's probably one of those movies you would only watch like once or twice. But if you're looking for something to really affect you, yeah, I would recommend that. There's so many movies I have over here on my left that I would keep going. I could keep going, but I'm not going to. You know, I know we have like a short amount of time. But go check out those movies, Chef and Mother. I'm sure I have plenty more recommendations. You can go follow me on Instagram, and I might have more.
Hey, plug. And with that social media plug, we're just about coming up on the end here. So yeah, what has everyone got for a quick takeaway?
Michael's wearing a fucking soccer shirt, so
It's not a soccer team.
it's like he woke up and
It looks
decided
like-
not
I
to
don't know
even
why.
try this morning, so
This bland look.
it's your boy Young Baphomet.
Okay.
Uh,
What do you got?
my takeaway from this episode is nice to sit down with Jaime, and I think that, you know, the idea for the pokers was hands. Besides mine as chains, obviously the best. I think the pokers was
Really?
second there.
Wings.
Like I described
Wings, you can do
earlier,
like
those
two things
caterpillar wings that you would have, those would be your wings, so I don't see much advantage to those. Or the
like
hat
2
that you're
feet off the
wearing,
ground.
which is also ridiculous. So that's my takeaway. Thank you guys.
Jaime, what have you got as a coming away from this?
Actually, I really had a good time. This is my first time being on someone else's podcast.
Ooh.
I've only been on my own, and even there, I'm still kind of learning. I'm getting better at talking. But this has been fun. This has been different. I really enjoyed talking about film with you guys, and I learned a lot. about wings and chains and about desert islands. Yeah, thanks guys for having me on. It was nice to talk to you guys, Seb, Anthony, Mr. Booth. I miss Cam though. I wish he was here. That's one thing
Cam, yeah.
Mr.
Cam.
One of the first rules of podcasting is the more people you've got on there, just the harder
It's probably more difficult.
Have.
I bet. Yeah, I figured. But yeah, I had a good time.
Yeah,
thanks,
absolutely.
Guys.
Well, it was great to have you on. It was great to, for me at least, to be able to make an appearance on your show last week. And with that, thank you again for coming on. Stay hydrated, folks.
Go read a book.
Peace out.
Check me out on Instagram at cambeezy.berry and YouTube at CB Comedy.
I am on Instagram, Seinfeld, SIGHN Feld, and also Fuckerberg.
Young Baphomet _ on Instagram and the fucking Twitter machine.
And I'm at _M Booth on Twitter and Instagram, and then Facebook, YouTube, Michael Booth.
And don't forget to check out the Cowboy Rowdy Podcast on Instagram and also the Cowboy Rowdy Podcast on Facebook.